Michelin is pushing back against the idea of designing tyres that deliberately degrade after a limited lifespan, a concept central to Formula One's current racing strategy. This comes as the French tyre giant considers vying for the sport's exclusive tyre supplier contract, currently held by its long-standing competitor, Pirelli. With the FIA now accepting bids for the 2028 tyre supply deal, the battle to dominate the paddock's rubber game has reignited. Pirelli has been the go-to supplier since 2011, a role it secured after taking the mantle from Bridgestone, which had been the sole supplier up to that point. Could Michelin's resistance to high-degradation tyres reshape the future of Formula One racing strategies? Michelin's potential return sparks memories of an era when tyre wars truly revved up the competition. Between 2001 and 2006, Bridgestone and Michelin squared off as dual suppliers, providing bespoke tyres to different teams, adding an extra layer of strategy and drama to the sport. In 2001, Formula One's tyre game was split between two giants, each powering different factions of the grid. Bridgestone supplied its rubber to heavyweights like Ferrari and McLaren, alongside Honda, Jordan, Arrows and Sauber. Meanwhile, Michelin's catered to teams such as Williams, Renault, Jaguar, Prost and Minardi. This dual supplier era, however, hit an abrupt end when Michelin exited the sport after the infamous 2005 US Grand Prix debacle. The race saw every Michelin-equipped car withdraw on safety grounds, leaving a mere 6 cars to compete, a nightmare for the sport's credibility. Now, Michelin is eyeing a return to the pinnacle of motorsport as the FIA prepares to assign its next tyre contract beyond 2028. However, the company has made one thing clear. It refuses to play by rules that prioritize entertainment over engineering integrity. Unlike Pirelli, whose tyres are designed to degrade strategically during races, Michelin is unwilling to create what it sees as self-destructive tyres purely to improve the show. The debate is as polarizing as it is fascinating. On one hand, tyres that degrade quickly inject an element of unpredictability into the races, forcing teams into complex strategic decisions. Should they dive into the pits early for fresh rubber and risk losing track position, or gamble by extending a stint on worn tyres to save time? For fans, this tension creates a thrilling spectacle, filled with drama, overtakes, and the occasional chaos. It transforms Formula One from a perfectly orchestrated symphony into a high-stakes poker game where every hand dealt could flip the script. Michelin CEO Florent Mennegot made no bones about his position. "We have been discussing with them for a very long time, and we are not in agreement," Mennegot stated. "They say to have the show, you have to have tyres that destroy themselves. I think we don't know how to do this, so we cannot agree." Mennegot further argued that prioritizing degradation forces drivers into relentless tyre management mode, robbing the sport of its raw edge. In his view, compromising tyre performance not only undermines racing, but also detracts from the spectacle itself. For Michelin, the thrill of Formula One lies in pushing boundaries, not holding back to save rubber. Drivers want to unleash their full potential on every lap, an instinct that Michelin CEO Florent Mennegot believes is stifled by tyres designed to degrade for the sake of spectacle. "The drivers will tell you they want to be at their maximum all the time," he said, while conceding that modern F1, with its highly engineered cars, makes flat-out racing from start to finish unrealistic. Yet he insists the focus should shift to crafting tyres that deliver consistent performance throughout the race, allowing teams to exploit their true potential lap after lap. For Mennegot, designing tyres that falter mid-race isn't just bad for racing. It's a poor reflection on Michelin's reputation. It would hardly be a good shop window for Michelin's products if they had a limited usage life, he pointed out, adding that sacrificing performance over 300 kilometers isn't the brand's style. Michelin, already one of the most recognized names in the world, sees little value in jeopardizing its standing just to align with a theatrical racing philosophy. After all, the company has little to gain from enhancing the show if it comes at the expense of its engineering pride. Instead, Michelin's interest in returning to Formula One lies in innovation. For Mennegot, F1 offers a unique laboratory for pushing the limits of tyre technology, with insights that can revolutionize Michelin's road tyres. "It's the best way to very quickly live-test new technology," he said, framing a potential F1 comeback not as a brand exercise but as a cutting-edge R&D opportunity. The debate over degrading tyres versus durable ones extends directly to the drivers themselves. themselves, who often voice frustrations with current tyre dynamics. Many drivers have spoken about the delicate balancing act required to preserve tyres during a race, a strategy that often feels counterintuitive to their natural instincts as competitors. Lewis Hamilton, for instance, has been vocal about his desire for tyres that allow for more aggressive driving. In his view, constant tyre management reduces the thrill of racing, as drivers are forced to tiptoe through stints rather than push to their limits. This sentiment echoes across the paddock, with drivers like Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso also expressing a preference for tyres that provide consistent performance throughout a race. In the Michelin era, drivers had a different set of challenges. Tyres often played a crucial role in car development, with teams tailoring setups to extract maximum grip and performance. Drivers had to work closely with engineers and tyre suppliers, providing detailed feedback to refine tyre behaviour. This collaboration fostered a sense of partnership between drivers and suppliers, elevating tyres to a critical component of race strategy and car performance. Today, however, the situation is starkly different. Pirelli's single supplier model leaves little room for personalisation. All teams and drivers operate under the same constraints, meaning races are often dictated by how well a car can manage its tyres rather than how fast it can go. Michelin's proposed return could shift this narrative. If the French manufacturer succeeds in introducing durable, performance-focused tyres, it may empower drivers to race more aggressively. Lap after lap, they could exploit the full potential of their cars, reviving a raw, unfiltered style of racing. Michelin and its competitors face a ticking clock, with a deadline of May 15, 2025, to submit their bids for the FIA's tyre supply tender. The governing body will announce the chosen supplier a month later, adding an air of anticipation to the decision. As it stands, Pirelli has confirmed it is reviewing the tender documentation and is expected to throw its hat in the ring, continuing its long-standing presence in Formula One. Hankook, a name familiar in motorsport through its Formula E involvement, faces an uphill battle. A recent fire at its Daejeon facility in South Korea has left the manufacturer scrambling to meet existing commitments, making it unlikely to pursue the F1 contract at this time. Meanwhile, Michelin's interest hinges on aligning its technical philosophy with the FIA's expectations, a delicate balancing act between racing purity and spectacle. Tyre manufacturers have a rich history in Formula One, stretching back to its inception in 1950. Pirelli was among the original suppliers, joined by Firestone, Dunlop and Engelbert in those early days. Over the decades, other names like Continental, Goodyear and Avon have left their mark on the sport's tyre wars. Each brought its own era of innovation and competition, shaping F1's technical landscape. The current F1 tyre contract is a demanding one, requiring the supplier to produce 6 slick compounds from the ultra-durable C0 to the grippy C5 alongside intermediate and wet weather options. It's a challenge not just of engineering but also of logistics, requiring precision and reliability at every race weekend. As the battle for Formula One's tyre supplier contract heats up, Michelin's firm stance against self-destructing tyres serves as a bold statement in a sport that often prioritizes spectacle over substance. While Pirelli's degradation-focused philosophy has created a unique brand of strategic drama, Michelin's return could signal a shift toward durability, consistency, and a purer form of racing. The question now is whether the FIA will embrace Michelin's vision or continue down the path of engineered unpredictability. Do you think Formula One should prioritize strategic drama with degrading tyres, or should the focus shift to consistent, performance-driven rubber that allows drivers to push flat out? Let us know your take in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.